I'm going to go ahead and record this. So hopefully, if it's something that is value for you guys, I'll post it up on YouTube. You guys can go ahead and watch it again. You can share it with whoever the heck you want, and there won't be any
Okay, okay,
issues.
that would be very good because I have this guy Joe Bardwell who was going to listen in since we don't have anything but audio, but that's okay.
Okay.
I see that this is being recorded, and I see that your webcam is not on, and pretty soon we should get Lisa somewhere on here coming on. She was speeding down the highway sober.
Oh my. Okay, that's always a good goal.
That's
Uh,
right.
yes, that works. But no, and even though I'm going to be showing a lot of Dropbox, I just want to emphasize that a lot of what we're doing does not require Dropbox. There's Microsoft has OneDrive. You've got Google. They've got their cloud service. So there are several different kinds out there. But Carol, Tim, and I have had a lot of success using this Dropbox system, and it looks like an Android just showed up. So hopefully that would be her. We'll find out in a minute.
Oh, attendees four. Yes, that should be Lisa.
Oh, and it does say Lisa. Perfect. Okay. Not hearing her, but just has maybe she's got it on mute. Lisa, can you hear us? And if you can hear us, but for whatever reason you're not able to chat, maybe you don't have a speaker system or the audio set up, you can always do text chat using the box option. So you could type in a message if you prefer.
I had my phone muted accidentally.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. All righty.
All this tech stuff I'm still learning, sorry.
It works out
Well,
just
you
great.
sound like you're right next to me, so that's very good.
Awesome.
No, this is it. I'll tell you, when Nevada Wings subscribed to GoToMeeting, we're getting a lot of use out of it. We do a monthly staff meeting. A lot of the ES training now with our new incident management system has been done on here. So technology makes it easier and cheaper to do stuff. But by the way, I'm Shia, Lisa.
Hi.
Okay. Are we waiting for anyone else, or are we good to go?
We're good to go because Chris could not make it because he has an appointment, and Victor Torres is on an airplane right now and going to beautiful San Antonio.
Okay, all right. Well, and at any point, Carol, please jump in if you think I'm forgetting something. It's my understanding most of what we're going to talk about would be compliance, particularly the SAV or compliance inspection, whatever you're scheduled for. And Lisa, you didn't hear this originally, but a lot of what I'm going to do is on Dropbox. It is not the only option you have. There's obviously Google's got their Google Drive. You've got OneDrive with Microsoft. I mean, there's different systems out there that you can use. But the system that we have is Dropbox. We actually pay a one-time per year subscription, and hopefully it works out. It goes well beyond what we do for the compliance inspection. We're going to start using it for a lot of our missions. If either one of you do ES, you know that Wimmers really is not an easy place to upload sortie results and images, so lots of options. But let's focus on the compliance inspection. And so what I'm going to do, go ahead.
May I just jump in 5 seconds and ask you, how much you guys pay for a year?
We pay about $700 a year, and because we do what's called the Dropbox for Business, and we have about a terabyte of information, or storage, excuse me, and so what we've done is not only has the wing used it, but we have provided folders and made the squadron commanders their moderators for those folders. So essentially, not only does the wing use it, all the squadrons have access to it as well. And so it's just all encompassing. We want to use it as really sort of not only for current storage and compliance inspection preparation, but for a lot of our missions, and then a lot of archiving.
But Kaz and Lisa, there is a free component of this. And this is how we started out. We started out using the free, and there's a lot of storage in the free part. So before you decide to go with this tool, Once Shile shows you the structure of what we do, you can start off using the free one.
So I have the free one for the admin and personnel stuff.
Perfect.
Great. Okay, and that's very easy to add on people, to share data, documents. So let's kind of dig in. I'm going to start with the online, the web browser version, but I'll be switching back and forth. And for Dropbox, the nice thing is it does have an installation program, which I really like. And what that means is, just like you would go into your program, and I've got it up on the screen right now, just like you would go into your folder on any computer and have your standard folders, I have the exact same thing. When someone makes a change, it automatically changes it on my computer as well, so we are all kind of sharing the exact same information. And one additional thing, and let me go up a level, compliance inspection. When I shared this, and I'll go into share, wrong one. Okay. It's not going to let me show it. That's cute. I was going to go over, okay. Why is it having, okay, right up here. I don't know why I had such a hard time with that. It shows me all of the people, and what I did is I shared the folder, not the specific item. So it's not like the chaplain has the rights only to the D2 chaplain. The wing chaplain has rights to view all of these, and there really is a method to that madness. The main reason is, and let's face it, if you've been in Civil Air Patrol long enough and you're a wing officer, at some point you've probably done communications, you've probably done operations, professional development, cadet programs. And so one of the things that we encourage our members to do, in addition to taking care of their own folder, is to certainly take a look at other folders as well, to ensure that there isn't something that perhaps is being missed or overlooked, something that they can add. Perhaps there's something, for example, operational mission management. We have an orientation pilot down in the Las Vegas area who's also a squadron commander who does a supremely good job of the orientation program. In fact, he's already set up a website called Nevada O-Rides. All of that stuff would go into operational mission management, but it also goes into cadet programs. So we want to be able to have our members not only view their own folder, but other folders. And the second thing that we do, let me open that up. Come on. We broke up all of the areas, and it was my responsibility as Chief of Staff to go in to the national website, download all of the worksheets, and put them into the folder. So I probably spent, 15, 20 minutes setting all of this up once a year, which isn't that much at all. And I name everything with a certain purpose. If you look at the worksheets, for example, aircraft management is listed as C4. Cadet programs is B1. That's important not only as the member is the officer is trying to enter their information, but later when it comes to uploading. I don't know if you've had a chance to upload into the Inspector General system. They want it specifically under C4, D3, D5, and our evaluation team wants their stuff named in such a format. So as much as possible, I try to not only name the folder aircraft management, but the specific item. So like Colonel Lynn will be responsible for aircraft management, Inspector General, safety, although Carol, we can certainly switch that around.
Yeah, I know. That's fine.
Administration, public affairs, our incoming chief or vice commander, Deb Pierce, will be covering cadet programs, finance, personnel, AE, chaplain, and part of the commander. And this is important because we want to make absolutely, oops, I forgot to change something because obviously Carol will no longer be doing that. So we want to make sure that, cute. We want to make sure that not only Deb and I are checking the commander's folders, but that we're checking the areas under our purview as well. And we make those members aware we're the ones who are going to be inspecting it. So it's sort of a mini inspection before the full inspection, not only by Deb Pierce, who will check these, but myself, who is responsible for checking all of these. And so hopefully we're double and triple checking the stuff well before we upload it. And I should mention, the members do not upload the stuff anymore. It's going to be one person, usually the chief of staff, which obviously is me. And I got to tell you, I probably uploaded 600 items when I did it this year, and it took me about 20 minutes. That's it. So if you do this right, if you have people consistent and following the instructions we have, and I'm assuming Brian Bishop sent you the packet. Carol, do you know if Brian sent that packet out about how to do a compliance inspection that we came up with?
I have not seen it go out, so
Okay.
I think he was waiting until after this. There's a region commander's call tonight.
Okay. All right. So if you could find out, but that's important. So let's just go into a folder. I'm going to go ahead and choose flight management, which is the Stanival side. You're going to notice that in every folder there is that worksheet that the evaluators will be viewing, and they are only asking for these questions. The questions are numbered, and the reason I bring it up is everything that we upload in here is going to refer to those questions. So for example, flight management, question 1, has the wing published any supplements or operating instructions in accordance with CAP regulations or 60-1? Obviously, if that's the case, did National approve it? Well, here's an answer right here. C3Q1, question 1, it refers to that. And this is what the evaluators are looking for. They want to see it referred to this way. So, again, the point of this is to make it as simple as possible for the evaluators to get the answers they need. And it also makes it incredibly easy for the person who's going to upload it. And throughout the year, your officers need to be keeping up on this. They really need to be keeping up on this. And it can be kind of difficult when you have a changeover. So, for example, in the next 2 weeks, we've got changes with operations. We've got changes coming up with aerospace education. We just had a big change with cadet programs. We have a lot going on, which is not only why we're always that whoever is in charge, the chief of staff, has to keep this up to date in terms of who has permissions. If you've already done it, make sure the member has access to the previous SAVs or CI, so they can go through and get ideas about, for example, C3 question 2, non-member flights. And this is just a simple letter from the wing commander stating, the period. Let's see, Nevada Wing only had CAP members flying CAP aircraft. There are no CAP Form 9s as a result. Something simple, easy, something that the evaluator can refer to in addition to WIMRs. And I'm sure you guys have been through a SAV before. The evaluators don't always know what the heck is going on with CAP. We've had evaluators that have not really touched WIMRs and have no idea what they're looking for. So this type of stuff makes them happy. And Carol will attest to this. Happy evaluators usually means outstanding grades.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, Carol, could you please share with us, if you don't mind?
Yep.
My IG believed that he should be the only one to upload because it's in the IG section, and that's his bailiwick, so to speak. And I was wondering, did you have any conflict with your IG, who's like your left-handed person, and you're over this matter in terms of who was going to
because, Kaz, when we started this, I was moving from chief of staff to vice commander, and there was no other option. It was the chief of staff will do this, and that was the way we did it. If you want your IG to be the one to do it, but like Shiles, that's fine. But like Shiles said, there has to be one person that's going to keep track of this. And, I don't know who your chief of staff is currently, but that chief of staff has to put some time into building this. It's whoever you designate in your wing. If the IG wants to do it, and he'll do a great job. It's just one person has to do it. And that's just the final upload. Your individual wing officers should be putting things in their own folders.
Okay. I just wanted an explanation, because like my IG was very protective of his role as the IG, and and he was telling me constantly that doesn't this go, like from the IG to the IG, because it's in the IG file that you have to load all of this stuff in, so it should be me as IG. And I went,
Well, like I said, it could be him. In
Mhm.
our case,
But it's not necessarily.
No.
We can
Yeah.
select anyone we want to.
right.
Okay. And then you've also made the point that our individual directors who are in charge of the various programs should be the ones who are the primary individuals who addresses each question, and then
Yeah.
other individuals can go in and just check to make sure that their responses are appropriate because they may have just come in new or whatever. And then
Well,
somebody
correct. I mean, just like when we came and did the SAF, the interviews are done with the wing directorates. And I mean, it wasn't you answering all the questions for all the departments. So it is the individual responsibility of the wing directorate, the cadet programs person, the AE person, to keep their folder updated. But like Shail said, we've divided all those folders into oversight. So periodically I go in and check the ones that are under my purview, and if I see something's not being uploaded, I will contact that wing directorate to say, I haven't seen anything uploaded. You need to get these questions answered, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way we have structured it, because you have to work as a team, and this is the team approach. Nobody's a boss, but unless you all work as a team and help each other, then you struggle.
And ego's going to come into play. There may be members who say one of two things. Either A, I'm not doing it because I don't understand technology. This is a very simple process. Explaining it to them can be fairly simple. We tried doing a GoToMeeting presentation for a couple of the members, and the members struggled with even running GoToMeeting. So I'm not saying this is going to go without hiccups, but more than anything else, everyone has got to get on board with the idea that the important thing is to get this wing compliant and get the wing doing the missions it's tasked to do. And for that, you're going to have to take that ego is going to have to take a back seat. Let people make comments. Now, if you got a nitpicker who's going to cause lots of problems, obviously you're going to deal with that on an individual basis. And we don't have that in our wing. And I understand every wing is different, but I got to tell you, we had very few problems with anyone saying, I don't want other people viewing my stuff. It was not an issue. Obviously, we don't keep personally identifiable information on here just because of the regs, Cap Reg 1-2. That's pretty clear about what you should avoid putting on. Back again for another example, which I wanted to refer to. This was. Go ahead.
Before you go on, Kaz and Lisa, this is a implementation that is going to go region-wide.
Mm-hmm.
This is not just you and us. This is going region-wide. And other wings are using other products, but they're doing the same process. So
I think this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm
so I think once people see it and see the ease of how easy it is to update stuff, I think, Kaz, you're not going to have the detractors that you think you might.
And to make it easy, we can certainly do this. I mean, obviously we're recording it, but if you have individual members who are really struggling with this, it would not be a big deal for us to have several of them get on sometime in the future and just walk them through individual items. And I'm going to show you one of the nice things that we can do about, let's see, either one of you, Lisa or Kaz, would you mind if I make you the presenter real quick? There's a reason I want to show you.
Sure.
Okay. Beautiful. All right. Let me. Oh, wait. It's not going to let you do that. So you should get a message asking if you're going to present.
Oh.
and then you want to go ahead and hit that center. There's a center button that says share your screen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are you going to do it, Lisa, or you want me to do it?
Yeah, you're going to do
I
it, Kaz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it won't let me, for whatever reason, it wouldn't let, there you go, okay. And so the reason you would want to do that is it's one thing for me to try to talk someone through how to do it without seeing it, but if I can actually see what they're doing, it makes a huge difference in terms of when they get frustrated and say, I don't see it. It's very easy for me to say, okay, move your cursor up, move it to the left, click on that one. And this can be a real easy tool to train members who are just struggling and getting frustrated with the technology in general, and we don't want that. We want people to be happy with this process. But like I said, it's going to be difficult, especially for your technologically challenged members, because they're going to fight it tooth and nail. And we still have members who went through it 10 months ago who are still fighting it. I had a conversation this weekend with a member who still did not want to use this system, and I just said, well, you know, Ken, you're going to have to do it. It's the way it is. Give me an email. I'll set it up again. Sometimes you just kind of have to lay down the law and say, this is the way it is. But I got to tell you, who's ever going to monitor this stuff and who's ever going to moderate this stuff, they need to regularly check to make sure that the right people have access to this. You don't want former wing staff who are no longer involved, or worse yet, disgruntled, continually having access to it. And just as much, you want to make sure your new officers, if you have changeovers, they get this as well, because obviously changeover in WIMRs does not mean a darn thing to Google or to Dropbox or to Microsoft. You've got to do it yourself. That's real important. Okay, let me go back. Yeah, show my screen. So again, same thing with that format. This is E3 question run course completion. Has the Wing IG completed required training? Oh, look at that, IG College right there. And this is what the evaluators want. They want the named format. They want to see something, some sort of proof. And if the officer works on it a little bit at a time, by the time the compliance inspection comes, they're not freaked out at all. They've got everything they need.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make clear that if you can drill into your members' heads that you keep on top of this, you're not rushing around like most people are the last month and a half trying to put it all together. They're good to go. And in Nevada Wing, we used to use continuity books. Again, someone loses a binder or someone gets disgruntled and leaves, that continuity book is gone. This is an online continuity book. It's not gone. It's always going to be available for the member and the replacement member to access. So, and I did want to show one other thing. One other thing I suggest, as we've been getting from National all of the CI results, so for example, like Wyoming Wing, I've been saving it in the folder. And obviously, this is to help people. Gosh, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I don't know if I'm going to get dinged or not. And I encourage our officers as much as possible, why don't you go look in the thing and find out what the discrepancies were. So let's see, what was this area on? Aircraft maintenance. Okay? And so it talked about all the discrepancies that are here. And it just gives the members an opportunity to look and see what has gone wrong with wings and things that the inspection group is looking for and not finding, things that, I didn't realize that I better make sure the weight and balance data is correct in all of the aircraft information folders, and small simple things like that. I always encourage that as National sends that stuff out, save it in here so that members can very quickly come in and review this. So questions you guys have. I mean, there wasn't that much to show on the compliance inspection. This is a very simple, straightforward process, whether you do it here or you do the online version. Very simple, very easy for those people who have access. Let me see if I can find, of course, these are all PDFs. I wish I had a Word file, because if some of your members, Dropbox, whatever, they can, of course, edit all of this using Microsoft Office, automatically save it in here, and it'll distribute itself to wherever you need to. So lots of options.
So somebody has to set up where, like who's going to have access to it and when there's a change to each director's information that they put in, where it automatically goes once the guy hits save or done.
Yeah. What has to happen each time you get a new member, every
Mhm.
time you get a new member, you want to make sure that you're sharing. You want to send that out to them. You want to make sure that not so much the link, but you want to share it. Okay, so you would type in their email,
Mhm.
maybe a little message saying, please, upload this. And in fact, you can, if you know someone's going to be on it for Dropbox, for example, you need someone who has access for 90 days or so. And I'll give you a great example. We're going to do the same thing for our SUIs and our inspection team. We don't want them to have access throughout the year. Squadron commanders would flip out. If I was a squadron commander and was told, well, the IG can go into your stuff anytime they want, I'd be pretty ticked off. That would really annoy the living daylights out of me. You can set it up so as the units get ready for their SUI, about a month or so before, you can set up so that the inspector, your state inspector general, whoever your team leader is, and whoever else needs to get in there, can have access to that folder, can have access to to view that data, but that access will automatically go away. So I could set an expiration date and custom date, whatever, and that's important. That's darn important. You can also restrict if you only want people with a certain password who can view this. And long story short, not everything on Dropbox has to have you as a member. You can create a link. So if I wanted you and your entire wing to see everything we've done, I could send you a link where you guys couldn't edit the information, but you could view everything we have in our compliance folder. If I don't like that, I can set it so only people with password create my password, and that way I would only share the link out with everyone. They couldn't edit it or make any deletions or anything, but they could at least view it if they have that password. So it's another option. And I know every program is different. This is mainly Dropbox that we're talking about here, but it does make your life easier when you can add expiration dates, when you can limit who can view it. Real important.
How did you all decide who would have what areas of responsibility for oversight?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I don't think there was any big decision on it. It was, Colonel Hahn said the Shile separated up into 3 groups.
Yeah, and understand Colonel Hahn is also an AMP, so aircraft management made perfect sense for him. Obviously, he's being an inspector general, so a lot of this stuff, made a lot of sense to him. His wife has worked with the administration before, so that worked out perfectly. When Carol, she specifically asked for cadet programs, for example, and personnel. So there were some things that we requested. I had been, in the past, I'd done communication, obviously Stanaval, done a lot of professional development in the past, so it made sense that I did this. And then other things we just threw out there. And even though I was responsible for these certain areas, Tim Hahn went through everything. And I remember looking at other things outside of my area just because we wanted to make sure we did as good a job as possible.
Okay.
And the biggest thing, Lisa, really is it's the mindset that it's a team project.
Mm-hmm.
And building that mindset, it took a while, just building that mindset and part of that was when we started with the binders, and we would have twice a year we meet for wing staff meetings.
Physically.
Mm-hmm.
And we would bring the binders to the wing staff meetings, and we would review those, and those binders are like 3 inches thick. I mean, we hated carrying them, but it gave us the opportunity to sit across the table from each other and say, hey, I don't know how to answer this question. How would you answer this question? That kind of thing. So it became a team project.
Mm-hmm.
We tried very, very hard not to let anybody feel that they were on their own. It was constantly asking, do you need help with anything? What can I help you with? It's a mindset. It's an environment. And once we moved to this structure, that environment was already built.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's not so much, and we have some new members on the staff who are kind of overwhelmed with this, but once they see it in operation, then they understand it. And I think your guys are going to be the same way.
Yeah.
That's why when I was there, I tried to explain it to as many people as I could briefly, because it really will make your jobs easier.
I like the cross accountability of it, that ability to be able to, they can access it, you know, other people can access it to get into it, see what's going on, and then offer help alongside so that it isn't all on one person. My first year doing our SAV for the unit, and I was overwhelmed because I thought, I don't even know how to answer most of these.
Right.
But being able to see how they were answered previously gave me a way better understanding of what they were looking for.
And the other thing with, like Shail said, putting in those CI reports from other wings,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how other people have answered things and what went well and what didn't was really very helpful.
Right. Like I'm interested in, you know, what are other wings doing best practice-wise that we could institute to help us deal with some of the compliance issues that we've had. So,
right. And that's why Colonel Bishop wanted us to show this to you, mm-hmm. and to work with you to help you guys get, and like Shail said at the beginning, you don't have to use Dropbox. We just find that for our purposes, Dropbox, we were already using it for other things.
Mm-hmm.
It just became natural. And Lisa, if you're already using it for personnel, then all you're going to be doing is expanding the use of it.
Yeah, it's a very easy transition.
Yeah, because I think one of the greatest advantages of this is if we should change a document, like right now we're in a constant change of who's doing what within the wing, mm-hmm. and then trying to publish it out all the time. We could make the change, it would go out, and we wouldn't have to worry about being overwhelmed by paper. It would go, everybody who's supposed to have a copy of it will have a copy, and they'll know who's the new alerting officer. They'll know who,
right.
You know, who's the new, you know, like the loggy. They'll know who's the transportation guy, you know, like in each squadron that this, you know, like, so you don't have to send a separate message because we've already set up a system that once we make the change, we just say publish, and it's gone.
Yes, and you know that's the double advantage of this, is the fact that not only is it a storage, but it's a communications tool, and that's a piece that most people don't think about, but it's a great communications thing. Shail, I'm going to mute myself for a moment.
Okay. One final thing I did want to mention, and I can email this out to you guys tonight. It wouldn't be a big deal. We created a simple online data storage. Okay, one of the things I wanted to mention, can you guys hear me? I for whatever reason, I had a weird error. We created an online data storage guide in order to kind of sum up. Colonel Bishop had asked us to go over some of the details and information that we had discovered as we created our process. Why are we having a hard time here? Okay, well, isn't this fun? There. And so I will email it out to you, but it talked about basic administration. And this is important. If you want to set up a pay-for account, some information to keep in mind. If you want to think about permissions, the type of folders, and more importantly, your current supplements and operating instructions and what it allows you to do and what it doesn't allow you to do. That's big in terms of storage considerations. And for those of us that have Dropbox and you're worried that, oh Lord, my computer, I may have the storage on my Dropbox, but my computer's kind of running out. I hear that a lot, especially with our members who have had the same computer for 10 years. This page right here, I send out to them. It tells them how to selectively sync up on their computer those items that come in to folders that may specifically affect them, and maybe they only want those. Very simple system. The inspection process, what I talked about right here, it's a simple one-page thing, and I know that may not be enough for everyone, but I think some of your members would probably get what they need out of it, because it does go over what we do, how successful we've been. We did extraordinarily well on our SAV. We're expecting to do even better on our compliance inspection, if for no other reason than we're just making small changes. I mean, realistically, we got dinged out of our 980 members because 8 of them did not do the there was a basic training. I don't remember what it was, but it was this
the EO training.
Oh yeah, the equal opportunity training. And all of those members were inactive, and yet we got dinged on it because the exact wording is that those members who, everyone has to have it. So we learned, and this time, just before the inspection, a bunch of people are getting transferred to the Ghost Squadron. That's just the way it is, so that when it's time, we're going to be 100% compliant. This page would hopefully be helpful for you. And then if you decide to use other things, Alaska Wing, I know Carol's seen this, uses their Google. They use Google Docs and the Google Drive in order to handle a lot of their photos. California Wing does a lot of their upload. The Nevada Wing Dropbox system, I can do something called a file request. I can send this out to everyone, so I've already got it set up. All we have to do is send this to request files, and then I can send the link out to everyone. All people have to do is click on the link, and they can upload as much as they want. And the beautiful thing is when they, let me see if I can get in here and it works. Beautiful. Okay, I'm a bit of a sarcastic person. I named the person Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights, but it does tell you, hey, who uploaded it? So all they have to do is enter their information, or you could tell them to enter sortie 5, or the pilot's last name, or the Wimmer sortie number, and exactly what exactly they're uploading. Is it a photo? Is it a listing of objectives that they met? However, so the system has a ton of options, and I really hope that you're able to make it work as much as possible. And then, of course, a simple how-to guide on how to share using Dropbox, for example, because a lot of people have a hard time understanding sharing versus just sending a link. So I'm hoping some of this stuff might help you guys in the transition to using this. But let me ask again, are there any questions you guys have? Anything I can address?
Lisa, have anything? Oh, now, is CAP headquarters looking at in some way combining this with Wimmers?
No, unfortunately, CAP headquarters doesn't have any position on this one way or the other, except, of course, and I made sure I saved it so that this wouldn't be an issue. Go away. If you look at CAPREG 1-2, the only thing that CAP National cares about is that personally identifiable information, and we avoid that like the plague on ours, because obviously it's not like we're Wimmers or e-services where you sign in each and every time. If someone has this installed on their laptop, they don't have to send in their password each time. So it's something that I would obviously keep in mind and be careful about what you put on here. This is not at the point where it's perfect, but National is not interested. I got to tell you, Region though is about maybe expanding and using it for more of the operations, but National, no, they have said nothing.
National's not interested in connecting it with Wimmers, but National is interested in how this gets used for compliance inspections. So we, as the Pacific region, are stepping forward to, we're going to be the first region to put this out region-wide. And Colonel Bishop wants it to we're the pilot program. So that's why it's being, this implementation is going out to all the wings. And because he feels, and people at National do, and General Myrick and Vasquez have seen this. And they believe that this will make the compliance issue for a lot of regions and wings a whole lot more effective than it is now. So that's the main focus of this. Using it for operations and for other things is down the road. But right now the focus is on using this for compliance inspection issues. Does that help?
That helps tremendously.
Okay, and then if just to kind of hit on other things, obviously, take whatever baby steps you need to. But if you take a look at get this up, our IC toolkit, for example, everything for our incident commanders. Not only that we used to put on disk, or we used to send out on a flash drive, everything that they would need from NIMS courses to the various different files, the grids that are available. So, for example,
I see forms in there, like, because we're always looking for forms, and the grid file. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is, and of course you could zoom in no problem. And this, of course, can be real helpful on a mission base, especially when you're trying to do a briefing using a projection system. So a lot of this, the crash locator, we just basically have things that, what would ICs actually use? Obviously, base checklist is a big deal. Here's when you think about the guided training evaluations and the actual evaluated SARXs, you want to make sure that our incident commanders have as much of this available as possible. It's something to keep in mind, just even beyond the compliance side. And obviously on the Nevada Wing headquarters, we're still building some of this up. For aerospace education, someone's scanning in right now articles that they can share with the cadets, and one-page briefings that they could do for an aerospace ed meeting, and then this will get shared out to the squadrons. So, it's simple, easy readings that they could print out and bring to the unit. However, so there's just an enormous amount of stuff that is available for you guys to use on this. But obviously, the compliance inspection is a great way to get your feet wet.
Okay, another, just because I'm not a techie kind of question. So on my laptop or on my tablet or whatever computer that I'm using, I'll just have a link that says Dropbox.
Yep. In fact, let me
go to the Dropbox, and then all of this stuff opens up. I don't actually have any of this on my computer at all.
Yeah.
I have to go to it.
And if you look at my screen right now, in the bottom left right here, there's a tiny little icon. It says Dropbox 3.10.7. It's a free program, so even if you have the free version of Dropbox, you just install it, whether it's and for a Mac, I don't know if you have a Mac, it'll be up on top. For Windows, it's in the bottom. Double click, the folder opens. And now I'm a teacher, so I have an enormous amount of stuff that don't involve Civil Air Patrol. So I got to go into the Nevada Wing headquarters one in order to access that. It's that simple. I mean, you install it. I don't have to sign into any website. I'm there. It's automatically right there. It's a no-brainer. And I'll get emails every day involving cadet programs, and I think, ooh, that's good. I'll print it to PDF. Put it in the compliance inspection folder. Oh, look at that. It's something from Stanivel. Print it in PDF, stick it in the compliance folder. If for no other reason, then when we get to the end of the year, I just want to make sure there's as much quality stuff in there as possible. And I don't think about it. Literally, as I'm going through the email, that might take another 10, 15 seconds for some of those messages. It really becomes automatic, but it really pays off when May comes and you've got your compliance inspection.
Lisa, do you have anything that you wanted to share?
No, I think he's covered all the bases. I'm really excited. I can't wait to kind of expand what I've done with admin and personnel. You've given me some good ideas.
Good. Okay.
So I guess because of the way this is set up, that our personnel folders, what is that? The 140. What is the form? The 145 or
45s.
the 45, we could not put that on here because of the PII.
Yes and no, and this is tough. And I had a conversation actually with someone on the board of governors about this, because there was a big concern about what you could. That boy, I don't know why I keep cutting out. I just spent the last 10 seconds talking and you didn't hear me. There's been a big discussion as to what you can and cannot. And if you look at the regs and you look at the 45, there's a lot of stuff you could actually put. There really is a lot, but like right here it tells you information. So obviously we would be concerned in the past when there was a CAP Form 60 and you would be putting medical history. There's no more CAP Form 60. All of that is on WMRS. You don't have to worry about that. As long as you were keeping it to, here we go. Almost everything that's on that form is about the individual's name, CAP grade, CAP ID. A lot of the other personal identifiable information is gone. And Nevada Wing, about 7-8 years ago, we used a system that was being used across the country called SIMS, and it was a downloadable program. I'm trying to remember where exactly it is. I think it's
That program.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. But we actually published, I think it's a supplement maybe. I don't remember where. Personnel.
But you know, when they say personally identifiable things, they're talking about Social Security numbers.
Yep.
And that kind of personal medical history.
Well,
You wouldn't publish that stuff anyway.
Even addresses. If you look at it, and I'm sure you guys have probably used these services before, there, of course, is a way for you to get the addresses of some of the members. But for most of the people, when they go into member search, it just gives the city they're in. It doesn't give their address. So some of the stuff you want to limit. So if you decide to go that route, obviously I would always say, be cautious. But we had a supplement that essentially said you can have a lot of your information and a lot of your files online instead of in print. That was perfectly fine, and obviously SIMS is a great example, and I'm trying to remember. Of course, I can't find it.
I don't remember where it was. I know it was, I thought it was in cadet programs, but obviously we haven't used it much lately.
Yeah, not a huge issue for us, so I feel kind of bad I can't show it. But no, it's something that you could certainly take a look at and make sure that it fits for you. But
And the bottom line is, if there's something you're not sure of, just call National.
Yeah.
Say, we want to do this. Can we publish this? And they'll tell you whether it's publishable or not. But most of it's common sense. Lisa knows this. Most of it's common sense. You don't want to put out, Social Security numbers and phone numbers and whatever else without, person's permission. But barring that, there's a lot that you can put out. So
if we were to do, for instance, we were to upload personnel records individually into that, with its own folder, the only person that had access to it maybe was the individual themselves and the personnel admin director. Would the main things that I would be looking at putting in there would be things such as the paperwork for their promotions, paperwork for their awards, especially for awards that aren't enterable into e-services. And it would be for things to keep track of things that we can't upload into e-services, and having a paper copy all the time isn't necessarily the easiest thing either. Then we wouldn't run the risk of having our personnel records lost during a move or other things.
Right, but I got to tell you, I would be careful about having the individual have access to their electronic records, because when you think about a paper record, usually, a lot of this stuff, the unit commander or someone's got to put their signature there. Having that individual, you could get an individual that decides, oh my, I'm going to start entering stuff that I meant to do, or sometimes you have members who make really bad decisions and decide they want to take shortcuts and say, yeah, I went to 2 wing conferences, and they enter in there when they haven't been to any. So
no, it wouldn't be that kind of stuff. It would be uploading documents.
Okay, that's certainly doable. I would really be careful about making sure who has access to it. but as we've read the regulations, there's nothing against it. I think what would have to happen is your wing commander would have to do some sort of operating instruction or publication, and I would check with National real quick and just see if another wing has already done that. Maybe you could use theirs and as a good template and make your life easier.
That would be great.
And that statement that is highlighted on the screen right now, all personnel documents are password protected. We have not uploaded entire personnel file. What they're talking about right there is below the wing staff directory, the command directory, because that has phone numbers and stuff on it. But that's the one thing that we have not done is entire personnel folders are not online.
Right.
Okay. That's one thing that we did not do. But I know that Lisa, what you're talking about is things that aren't in e-services, like awards and that kind of stuff. That's not privileged information anyway. You already have the name and the rank and all of that, personnel actions. I mean, Cap 120s and things like that. That's not privileged information anyway.
Right.
So yeah, there would not. This is a really good file, our document right here. I don't know, a while ago, long time ago, our IG, Jim Anderson, put this list together for things that we're going to be due. This is a great help to your staff and your commanders because now they know what's due and when it's due. Now, do they remember it all? No, but it's uploaded into one of the folders so everybody can access it. Oh crap, something's due this month, I don't remember what it is. They can open that folder and there's the whole list.
Okay.
So, and this is something we just put together because, well, you know as well as we do, there's always something due. Right? Yeah.
Yes,
So
unfortunately, you're absolutely correct.
So
It's nice to actually see that, like, printed all out. I mean, I'm a sticky note person, so I have all my sticky notes in my commander's notebook that I have for myself with all of those kinds of things in it. So it's nice to have something all in one place that is actually, it looks better than a sticky note.
And there's
as long as you're going to be sending us stuff, could you also include this with it?
Oh, absolutely. That wouldn't be a problem at all. In fact, I think I have an updated version. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Okay, so I will make sure to send them both to you. You shouldn't have any problem getting that. There you go. Yep, so it might be the same one, actually. But nope, we will get that to you. So this will come with you as well.
Yeah, because I think some of our directors as well as our squadron commanders could really use some of this as well as some of the other types of things that happen throughout the year. Because, we have a calendar, but many people don't look at the calendar.
Right.
And at least this will be another reminder.
That could be something that we could laminate and give to each of the commanders to keep, in their unit. But anyway, that's a side note.
Yeah, no, and it's something
actually,
like that matters.
It's something you need to tattoo to their forehead.
Oh, I see. You're going to have a lot of fun being Commander, Carol. I can just see that now.
That's why she's going to be the commander.
Yeah. She's going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, what you actually should be doing is you should be really, really feeling sorry for my staff.
Lord knows I do.
Carol, we have a saying in my church, and that's no pity on the works of the enemy.
Oh, wow. Okay, nice.
I like it.
You're against me.
Okay, well, please.
I love it.
I'm going to get this email out to you tonight. I just, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to put my little kids to bed. So I'm going to get this out to you tonight, and if you have any questions, and again, feel free to, you're going to need to edit this page that's up on the screen right now, because it's got our commander's call and some of the stuff.
We can put some of our own stuff on here, yeah.
But please feel free to contact us if you have any questions, and anything we can do, we're more than happy to help you out.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And thank you all so much for showing up tonight. And in addition, in fact, I may wait a little bit because as soon as I stop recording, I'll upload it to YouTube. I'll send you the link so that you can share it out with whoever you want, so that anyone who didn't catch tonight should be able to view that on the YouTube.
Well, thank you so much, Carol and Shai. We really do appreciate you taking so much of your valuable time, especially when you have children around, to share your knowledge and what you guys accomplished. So this is really fantastic. Thank you so much.
No problem, and you have a good evening.
Okay, you guys have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.